Welcome into We Know Ball. I'm Connor Fuchsa.
I'm Mason Billow.
Now, obviously, we've had to take a couple weeks off for Thanksgiving break and just some other complications with the show, but this is going to be our final episode of the semester and potentially of the year, depending on what happens in the spring, because I'm going to be on two different college basketball shows. So this might
be here.
this might be Mason's show in the spring, actually. But we'll probably do at least a couple episodes like we did last spring, or we'll do like an NFL draft one, stuff like that. But it won't be as regular as it is now. But yeah, for this episode, we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, we're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about the craziness leading up to the playoffs and all that's gone around with the parity in the NFL. And then we got a lot of college football in today's show. You got the head coaching changes. You've got the college football playoff scenarios. We're going to talk about how each conference has kind of played out over the season. And if we have time, which I feel like we won't, but we may just make time anyways because it's the last episode of the semester, we'll talk about some Heisman cases. So let's start on the NFL side. It's going to be the quicker side, but still, I mean, quick meaning probably 20 minutes. But let's just talk about the parity real quick. Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, the Eagles lose to the Bears. Bears are atop the NFC. The Panthers beat the Rams, the only team that looked somewhat untouchable recently. And then the Chiefs may be missing the playoffs. They just lost to the Cowboys. And the Patriots are leading the AFC. What the heck is happening in this season of the NFL?
I think we're going back to the early 2000s, maybe. Yeah, it's very interesting when you look at all the standings, and you just see good teams that we thought were gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're good, but
Yeah.
they're losing these weird games.
Yeah.
Like you saw the Cowboys, they lost to the Panthers,
And the Bears. And I thought those were both bad losses.
Yeah. And then now it's like 4 weeks later. 4 or 5 weeks later? You see Panthers. I think they have 3 good wins now. They beat the Packers too, right?
I believe so. Who did they beat? They have another good win. Who did they beat?
I think it's the Packers.
Okay.
And then you see what was the other team?
Cowboys. Rams?
No. The Bears. The Bears.
Oh, okay.
The number 1 team in the NFC.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, out of burnt ash, they rise like a phoenix. It's incredible to see, really, because also this NFC North is very, very competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 3 great teams, and then you have the Vikings.
We're Vikings fans.
But you have 3 great teams, and the Bears are just kind of they're on a 5-game winning streak.
I mean, that's insane. They started 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
They're 9-1 in their last 10. The Bears.
The Patriots also started 1-2.
And now are they on a 10-game win streak?
Yeah.
That's insane. That is crazy. And so, I mean, just let me read off the playoff picture real quick in the AFC. Patriots 1 seed, Broncos 2 seed, Jaguars 3 seed. Then you got the 6-6 Ravens, the 4 seed. You got Chargers, Colts, Bills. So preseason, I think it was a consensus. Obviously, top 3 was Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. I actually think we both had the Broncos winning this division, so I take it back. Maybe Chiefs weren't consensus top 3, but it was Ravens and Bills. And then we were both pretty confident on the Texans winning their division. You fast forward 13 weeks in the season, the Jaguars are the 3 seed, the Patriots are the 1 seed. Like, the Chiefs aren't even in the playoffs right now, and the Chiefs are actually like genuinely probably not going to make it now. After that loss to the Cowboys with the rest of their schedule and the fact that the Bills, Colts, Chargers, and the Jags and the Broncos all have tiebreakers on them currently. Like, what?
They can't win the games that matter.
Exactly.
It's looking like
They've literally lost to basically every single playoff team.
I wouldn't count out the Texans, though.
Oh, no, I'm not counting them out. But they actually randomly are on a tear now. So, I mean, I just want to mention parity. Let's get into the NFL divisions now, because that's what's been crazy. Currently, there are 5 NFL divisions separated by less than 1 game. Like, less than a game, meaning that 4 of them are tied, and 1 of them is like a weird half game because of the tiebreaker with the fact that the Green Bay Packers tied the Cowboys. So let's start with that division, because, I mean, that one's probably the weirdest one of the year. The AFC South has the 8-4 Jags, the 8-4 Colts, and the 7-5 Texans. What do you think is going to play out here?
I want to stick with my pick
Mm.
because when we did our mid-season playoff prediction, I had the Texans in at the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to keep some sort of hope in that playoff bracket that I made.
Yeah.
But with everything that's going on, I mean, Texans, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They're likely to slow down, especially with the games they have coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to stick with the Colts.
Okay. So you're going Colts. What
Yes.
about the Jags? You didn't mention the Jags. Are you just like...
I'm just counting them out.
Yeah.
Which is fair to do. It's fair to do. Because, as we've seen, Trevor Lawrence is not a stable quarterback.
Yeah.
He'll have these good weeks. In the past 3 weeks, he'll have these.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll just put up a stinker.
Yeah.
And they'll lose 41-10 to the Browns.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree. This feels like a two-man race to me. Because let me just read off a couple of the Jags' wins this year, and you'll see why I think we're both not confident in them. First off, 30-29 overtime win against the Las Vegas Raiders. And that wasn't the beginning season Las Vegas Raiders that beat the Patriots. That was Week 9 Raiders that I'm pretty confident is the next week is when the Cowboys destroyed them and started their playoff case. They went to overtime with Arizona and Jacoby Brissett. And then last week, obviously, they just beat Tennessee. So three out of their last 4 wins are overtime wins against Vegas and Arizona and 1 against Tennessee. This doesn't give a team that makes me have a lot of confidence in them. The only thing going for them is they still have Tennessee again and the Jets on their schedule.
But they also have the Colts twice and the Broncos.
So if they pull 1 on the Colts and lose to the Broncos, that's still going 3-2 in their final 5-game stretch. That's 11-5 or 11-6. That, there's a chance that's good enough to win this division. Because that would mean the Texans have to win 4 more, and that would mean the Colts have to win 3 more. And the Colts kind of have a hard schedule moving forward. I was thinking I was about to count the Jags out, but now look at the schedule. The Colts have Jacksonville twice, which let's say they split that. Then they've got Houston again, San Francisco, Seattle. They could genuinely go 1-4 in that last 5.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will either. But I'm not gonna lie, they could go 2-3. That's maybe what I'd predict them to go right now, especially with Sauce getting injured now. That's a 10-7 record. They'll make the playoffs with that, but they're not winning the division. So then you go look at Houston. They've got Kansas City this week at KC. Then Arizona, Vegas, Chargers, Indy. So some favorable games in there. I don't think they beat Indy twice. I think they probably go 2-3 or 3-2. So as crazy as it sounds, after I was just about to hate on them, I think I'm picking the Jags.
Golly.
I can't believe I don't like it, and the Jags are 1,000% in my mind a first round exit. There's no question in it. I think the Colts and Texans are better teams, but with how the schedules lay out the rest of the season, they just got to win 3 and 1 against the Colts. They just have to win 1 against the Colts because they're going to win the other 2 gimmies.
I think that's also what we thought in 2017, if you remember that playoff.
The Blake Bortles
to the AFC Championship.
Hey, who predicted on the show 3 months ago that this feels exactly like 2017, where we're going to see a Daniel Jones or someone like that in the conference championship, like that Jags team?
I think you're making that up. He's not.
I said that. I said that. But I said it was Jags or Colts. I have no faith in the Jags. Colts, I still think can make an AFC title run. But that's a different story. That's just one division. You're going Texans. I'm going Jags. Somehow we've both fallen off the Colts train, even though I
was never on it.
Okay, that's fair. I honestly believe the Colts are still the best team of the 3. I just don't think they're going to win the division with how the schedule pans out. Okay, so let's move over. Let's stay in the NFC side. Or AFC, sorry. Whoa. AFC North. The absolute crapshoot that is the AFC North. I got flamed. This show maybe is just a victory lap for me a little bit on some of the things. I got flamed by you and RTD about a month and a half ago when I said the 2-win Ravens were going to win the division. We still have 5 weeks left and they're in first place. What do you want to say about this division and who's your pick with the Ravens 6-6, Steelers 6-6, and then somehow the Bengals with Joe Burrow back now have a chance at 4-8?
Okay. This division is probably the worst division I've ever laid eyes on.
I think it might be the worst I've ever seen. Outside of, I think there was one year that the Commanders won the NFC East with a losing record. That's the worst year I think I've ever seen.
You have 2 teams that are at 500, and then you have 2 teams that are under 500.
Yep.
You have one team who's 3-9. Looks like they're going to fire everybody after this season.
Oh, yeah. Stefanski needs to go. His hatred for Shador, too. Like, bro, you can't be like, he genuinely hates that guy. And I don't know why. And Shador, like, at least to the media, obviously it's just to the media, but, like, he seems like he talks high of Stefanski. He's very respectful about him and, like, doesn't try and crap on him at all. But no, Stefanski just hates him.
No. Shador is a very cocky individual. He doesn't need to be because he hasn't shown anything. But that's neither here or there. I think, Aaron, listen to me. The Ravens are going to fall off.
Yeah.
I know that completely contradicts what you've been saying. Oh, the Ravens are so back. No, they've been crushing it. Won't lie. But they still have to win this division over the Steelers. The Steelers are going to get a winning record. They're going to be 9-8. That means that the Ravens have to be, almost perfect. They can lose 2 games, but almost perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lose at least a stupid game. They lost to the Bengals.
Yeah. And they lost bad. Like, that wasn't just a loss. That was an ugly loss. Like, Lamar with, 3 turnovers in that game. Like, it was not pretty. I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. The thing is, Ravens and Steelers still play each other twice. So the division comes down to those. They'll probably split, if I had to guess currently.
You just think everybody's going to split.
I do.
Jags and Indy split.
AFC North always splits. Cincy split with the Ravens. Cincy split with Pittsburgh.
I agree with the AFC North.
Yes.
I don't agree with the AFC South.
Yeah. I'm only saying Jags and Colts split just because I think, especially with Sauce out, I think Jags might get the first one and then Colts get the second one. But here's the Ravens schedule. They got Pittsburgh, Cincy. I think they probably win both in the next 2 weeks. And they go up to 8-6, and it looks like their division. Then they got to go play New England and Green Bay. I think they lose both, sitting at 8-8. Steelers will be at 8-8. We're going into Week 18, Steelers, Ravens for the division. That's what this is going to come down to. I think the
Mike Tomlin Bowl.
The Bengals will probably get 7 wins, I think. I think they'll get 3 out of their last 5. So it's going to come down to Week 18. I'm going to have to bet on the Ravens. I have to. I just think, obviously, they've shown it recently, and just on paper, they are the better team. A lot of times in football, it's about momentum. It's about when you're peaking. The Ravens have won now 5 of their last 6. The Steelers, I'm confirming something real quick. I believe they've lost.
They're on 2-game losing streak.
They were 4-1, so they've lost 5 of their last 7. One team's peaking, one team's sliding. And I truly believe that matters in this time of the season. So I'm going to go with the Ravens to sweep the Steelers. So actually, I lied about splitting. I said they're going to sweep now. I think they sweep the Steelers, and I think the Ravens win this division.
Fanboying over here.
However, I got no faith in them come playoff time, but I do. Obviously, they were both of our Super Bowl picks preseason. I've taken a lot of victory laps. I'll own my L's too. I thought the Ravens were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's also my fault.
Yeah, it's a big whiff. But my other Super Bowl team still looking pretty good. The Rams.
They just lost to the Panthers.
Okay, everyone's lost to the Panthers.
No, not the Patriots.
Yeah, not the Patriots. Okay, fine. Moving on, AFC side, we're just going to talk about the divisions that are within a game. So New England's up 3 on Buffalo, Denver's up 2 on the Chargers. So we're going to skip that. So let's head over to the NFC. NFC East, Eagles are up 2 on the Cowboys. There could be some chaos there, but we're not going to talk about that today. It's the other 3 divisions we got to talk about. NFC North is probably the most crazy, so we'll start there. 9-3 Chicago, 8-3-1 Green Bay, 7-5 Detroit. What plays out in this division?
It's not worse all Detroit being.
I know.
They lost both games to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
One was on Thanksgiving. They always lose on Thanksgiving. But I don't. What? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
They really relied on Ben Johnson. Let's be real.
The Lions?
Yes.
Yeah, well, and also now they're just getting injured. Their offensive line is completely beat up. Amon-Ra had to miss the game, basically the whole game. Laporta's out for the season. So they are dealing with some injuries, but Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jameson Williams should be a good enough offense to be able to put some points up. And their defense still has plenty of good pieces. Hutchinson stayed healthy this year, and
it really looks like Jared Goff is finally regressing. He's actually aging.
Yeah. Yeah. So then what is your prediction here? Who are you picking to win the NFC North? I know you hate it, but I feel like I know where you're going.
I don't know.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, actually, I'm not ready. Here's the thing. That tie is really going to screw Green Bay. Because ties, they're not a loss, but they're not a win, so it's almost basically like it's a loss. So it's almost as bad as a loss, basically. So they're already a game back. Here's the thing. Another division where, hey, schedulers did a good job because the Bears have to play Chicago twice, or the Bears have to play Green Bay twice. Like, these two teams played twice in the last 5 weeks. The Bears also have to play San Francisco and Detroit. The Bears have a really hard schedule. On the other hand, I don't trust Green Bay at all. I don't at all. I don't trust Jordan Love. I probably more than anyone have ranked Jordan Love a lot lower than everyone else. Like, he's not in my top 15. He's maybe not in my top 20. Like, I am not a Jordan Love supporter. That wide receiver room is atrocious. Tucker Kraft's out for the season. Outside of Josh Jacobs and Micah Parsons and that defensive line, I don't like the Packers. That being said, I don't like, one of these teams has to win the matchups. Like, in Detroit, they're, like you said, they're skidding at the wrong time. I'm gonna go the Bears. I don't like it. I don't love it. I don't want to pick it. But right now, Ben Johnson's got his boys on fire. I trust that offense currently a lot more than I trust the Packers offense. No?
No, I trust Jordan Love over I trust Caleb Williams.
I said offense. I didn't say quarterback. The quarterbacks are pretty similar to me, but I trust the weapons in Ben Johnson a lot more than I trust what's going on with LaFleur and then all the weapons in Green Bay. Outside Jacobs. I love Jacobs. That's it. And then on top of that, Bears defense has been forcing turnovers at an insanely high rate. So even though I would say the Packers defense is better, the Bears defense has been basically pretty close because of the turnovers they've been forcing. So I'm going to go with the Bears to win this division, and I don't like it at all. I want to pick the Lions still, but them being 2 games back just kind of ruins them.
I'm going to pick the Packers.
Yeah, that's the smarter pick probably, even though they are a game back.
Because, yes, they're a game back. They're 2-0 against the Lions, which is really good.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bears and them have played yet.
They have not. They have 2 games left. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So that's very interesting, and that'll really decide who wins this division. But yeah, the Packers, they just look like an all-rounded team. You say you'd take their offense, the Bears' offense.
Yeah.
But I like this team well-rounded. They have an offense and defense that work good together. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. Honestly, I've talked about this with other people. I hate when my fantasy team players have to face the Packers because the style of play they play is so annoying to face. They want to run it down your throat and they want to just they're trying to get the least amount of possessions in a game possible. They want to take 9-minute drives, really slow pace. They want the defense to just wear you out.
Eagles does that too.
Exactly. They play very similar paces. Speaking of, that Eagles-Packers game was 10-7. If that doesn't say anything about the paces they like to play. If they were a college basketball team, they'd be similar to Houston, basically, of just wanting to slow the game down. So they're never going to win big, usually. It's not going to look pretty, but they're going to get the wins.
Yeah.
But, that being said, the three losses is all they have this year. Those 3 losses, 13-10 to Cleveland, 16-13 to Carolina, 10-7 to Philadelphia. It's the games where the offense doesn't want to show up. And they're going to have games like that because I don't trust this offense.
Well, I think they also just lose the bad teams.
They also do. But I think if they split with Chicago, they lose to Denver, they could lose to Baltimore very well. They'll beat Minnesota last week. But if they go 3-2 in their last 5, the Bears just have to go 2-3 to win the division. So, It'll be interesting. We'll see. But I'm going to go Bears. You're going to go Packers.
It's a Bears team that lost to the Vikings, Connor.
It is. Yeah.
Think.
I'm going Bears. NFC South, Buccaneers, Panthers. So the Bucs are 7-5. The Panthers are 7-6. Who do you got winning this division?
Bucs. I cannot, in good faith, pick the Panthers to win anything.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, he's looking what we thought he was going to be when he was drafted. Right?
Yeah.
He's looking way better. Their run game is really good. Their pass game,
I mean, it's looked pretty good recently.
I mean, it's looked pretty good, but
I mean, pretty good-ish. I mean, in the Atlanta game, I mean, obviously Young threw for like 450 or whatever, but I think the last 2 weeks he's thrown for like less than 250.
yeah,
So, like,
and I'm just saying like the talent at the receiver. There's a little bit of talent gap.
yeah,
I mean, you have Tedrow McMillan, which
he's a good.
he's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I think your wide receiver 2 is
Mike Evans, but he's out. So it's or Chris. Which team are we talking about?
the Panthers.
Oh, Panthers. Their wide receiver 2. Is it Jalen Coker?
No, I think it's the Carolina, you know what I'm saying, my horses, you know.
Oh, Leggett.
Yeah.
That's actually a great way for me to get what you were trying to say.
Was that a good impression? Let me know.
You can be the Leggett translator.
So there's a whole skill gap between McMillan and everybody else, every other wide receiver on that team.
Yeah.
On the Bucks side, you have a team that's sliding. This Bucks team started out fantastic this start of the year. Now they're sliding. Now they're losing, and those are my AirPods falling out of my pocket. And they're bound to go up at some point.
Yeah. Well, you want me to chime in for a second?
Yeah.
You want to know what their last 5 games look like? New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Miami, Carolina. They're gonna go 5-0. They're gonna go 5-0 to end the season. Actually, 6-0.
I mean, it's very important.
It is.
They play Carolina twice.
That's what I'm saying. What are the schedulers on? I'm convinced the NFL is scripted this year because every division that's close, the top 2 teams play each other twice to end the year.
Yeah, they haven't played it.
Whereas, like, all the divisions that aren't close, spill on yourself. All the divisions that aren't close, they're like not close, but like not one within a game, like the Eagles, Cowboys. They've already played each other twice and stuff like that. But for some reason, the divisions that are close, the schedulers have it to where these teams are playing twice in the last 5 weeks. But yeah, I don't see a world where the Bucks really don't go at least 4-1, if not 5-0 in this stretch. The only team they could lose to once would be Carolina, especially with no Michael Penix, Drake London on the Falcons. New Orleans is New Orleans, Miami's Miami. I got the Bucks winning, and this is by far the one I'm most confident in.
All right, NFC West. Last
one's NFC West, and this one's a doozy. These are 3 dominant teams. 9-3 Rams, 9-3 Seahawks, 9-4 49ers. 49ers haven't had their bye yet. They have their bye this week. So technically speaking, the Rams and the Seahawks are up half a game on them. What do you got?
What do you got?
What do you got?
It's very interesting. I've always been a Rams hater this season. Connor knows that. It's because of him. 49ers, I cannot trust to win big games. I mean, they had Mac Jones for 5 weeks, and then Brock Purdy comes back. He's like, all right, nothing special.
I mean, since Purdy's been back, they are 3-0, but it's against Arizona. I mean, Carolina, maybe, and then Cleveland.
I mean, yeah, I forgot about that Carolina game. Did Carolina lose or win?
No, they beat Carolina.
Okay.
129. That was the game where Purdy threw 3 interceptions in the first half, but then Young also, I think, threw 3 interceptions.
So it was a weird game.
It was an
they
ugly
probably
game.
should have lost that game, let's be honest. If it was any other team, I think they would have lost that game.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this team at 8-5, and I'm just saying they're not going to make it.
9-4, but yes.
Well, I'm looking at the team at
okay.
And I'm looking at the talented 2 rosters they have in front of them. I'm just like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Right. Is there a chance that all 3 of them go to the playoffs?
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
No, all 3 of them will be in the playoffs.
But we're talking about who's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm going to say the team who has, in my opinion, the more talented roster.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know where you were going with that, and I got really scared. I thought you were about to say something about like Sam Darnold over Matthew Stafford.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Like...
But if you look at the whole roster for both teams, I'm taking the Seahawks. I think JSN this year is better than Puka.
This year, I agree. But I'm taking Devontae miles over Cooper Kupp or Rashid Shaheed.
Cooper Kupp's not on the Seahawks. Yes, he is.
So I'm taking Devontae Adams miles.
Shaheed, he's a really good deep threat.
Devontae leads the entire league in touchdowns.
I get it.
And then I'm taking the Kyron Corum duo over the Walker.
No, I'm
Charbonnet.
taking Walker Charbonnet.
I'm taking Kyron. But that's a pretty even matchup. O-lines are pretty similar, and the defenses, they're very similar, but I'd probably lean Seattle.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Stafford and Adams by a mile that I'm taking the Rams overall.
We know everybody knows you're picking the Rams.
They're winning the Super Bowl.
Shut your mouth.
They're winning the Super Bowl.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, so you made your pick. Now my turn to make my pick. It's the Los Angeles Rams. I don't think anyone's shocked by it. We talk about all these random teams that get to play a division opponent twice. The Rams still get Cardinals twice, so I love that for them. They do play Seattle at Seattle, and then they get Atlanta and Detroit.
Well, according to you, Connor, the Cardinals are a really good team.
When did I say that?
They beat the Cowboys.
Oh. We don't talk about it. I know I'm talking a lot about schedules, but that is what you got to think about when you're thinking about who's going to win these teams. Is what games do they have left in front of them? Over on Seattle's side, they've got a tougher schedule, but definitely they'll probably be favored in 3 or 4 of the 5. I really like Seattle. The thing I don't know yet is tiebreaker. I think both of them are going to end up with 13 wins. I think they both go 4-5. I think the Rams beat the Seahawks, and now they've both beat each other once. I don't know how tiebreakers work. So, off of that, if there's a team that I could see losing to, it's the Seahawks of these groups, especially with Darnold. We've seen him have just stinkers. I mean, that 4-interception game against the Rams last time. Did they? Oh, no, the Rams beat the Seahawks. Yeah, right, because Darnold had 4 interceptions. So if the Rams beat the Seahawks again, they have the tiebreaker. So, yeah, I'm going Rams. I think the Rams, they had Darnold's number last time. Let's see if they can do it again. What? What are you confused about?
You said you've seen Darnold have some stinkers.
Yes.
I think he's had one stinker the whole year. One game.
I didn't say this year. We saw him last year collapse in the big games against the Lions and in the playoffs. You're the one that's the biggest advocate for that Vikings team collapse and how Darnold could play. Darnold threw that team in the dumpster those last 2 weeks. So I'm saying when it comes down to when he's got to play Los Angeles for the division in Week 16, will he show up? And I haven't seen him show up in one of those big games yet. When is he showing up in a big game?
I've seen him show up in a Week 16 game. When it gets to Week 18.
Well, Week 18.
And the playoffs, that's when he collapsed. And I was saying that. I was saying Sam Darnold, he's going to collapse. He collapsed. And then I was like, okay, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He gets signed by the Seahawks, and now he's playing the same thing. And I'm like, okay, fair enough to you. Good for you, because I thought it was just a one season wonder.
See, it's weird how we switched because I was the one that believed in Darnold. And I still do like Darnold. I think he's a great leader of this team. I'm just saying, can he win the big game? And he's got to show it to me. He's got LA in Week 16. He's got Indy in Week 15. He's got San Francisco in Week 18. So if Week 18 he disappears, he's got San Francisco. And then, heck, throw Carolina in there. Maybe they're decent. They've still got them. They've got a lot of big games lined up for him, and he's got to show up. And I want to see him show up when the weather gets cold, can Sam Darnold show up? And so far, I haven't seen it as of last year. So,
all right,
I'm going the Rams. That should be every division, correct?
Yep.
So we'll go through it one more time, just real quick, so we can list them off. AFC South, I said Jacksonville, you said Texans, correct? AFC North, I said Baltimore, you said Pittsburgh. Yep. For NFC North, I said Bears, you said Packers. NFC South, I said Bucks, you said Bucks. And then NFC West, I said Rams, you said Seahawks. We did not agree a lot. I mean, that's pretty typical of the show. We really don't. I feel like if I have a strong take about a team, you like to just hate on it on the other direction.
No. Because you know who I'm going to pick, and you just plan ahead. And you're like, okay, I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick the
You're
Ravens.
not in my thoughts, buddy. I don't think about you when I'm preparing for a show.
Ravens.
But no, I'm high on the Ravens, high on the Rams. But yeah, so that's all for the NFL segment. Went a lot longer than I said we were gonna because I knew we'd just yap. We're gonna head to commercial break. When we get back, we're gonna do some college football content. Welcome back to We Know Ball. Now we're going to talk about some college football. There's plenty of news. We're gonna start with the head coaching hires. We're gonna talk about some of the major hires, and we're gonna give our grades of what we think about the hires. Then we're gonna break down every single college football Power 4 conference and just kind of talk about how they end up panning out versus preseason expectations. And then we are going to pick the conference championship games coming up this weekend. So we got a lot of college football content coming up. Let's start with college football. We'll start with the biggest one. And this one we'll spend a lot more time on. And after that, we're going to go a little bit quicker. It's Lane Kiffin to LSU. First off, what is your opinion on it? How it went down? And then grade the hire.
I think how he handled it was so Lane Kiffin. You know, just acting like a baby the whole time. Just whining and crying at his house. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to make my decision after the Egg Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Interview after the Egg Bowl. Oh, no. I just need to talk to God and sit in my room and cry and think. No. Like, you promised people that you were going to get a decision after the Egg Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was, just later that night, he'll give a decision. No, let's make the decision like 3 a.m.
And then he never even like publicly made the decision.
No,
like, it kind of
no.
just eventually got like leaked enough to where they just said, "Yeah, this is true."
Everybody was like, or at least me, I was saying like, "Oh, Lane Kiffin to LSU." I was like, I don't believe it, right? Because it makes me so mad.
Poor Marty Smith was going through it, just trapped at the Ole Miss facility.
He was there for 36 hours.
He got his interview eventually, though.
Yes, he did.
That's journalism.
I just think, in the way Ole Miss fans are handling it, I don't really think so. I don't really think that's how you're supposed to. I mean, let this man get on his plane peacefully. Don't boo him.
Crybabies.
Yeah, it's... But I do want to make this one point, and then I'll let you talk.
Okay.
Nothing is really special about Lane Kiffin. Nothing really stands out like he is the savior. He is the next Nick Saban, like they're treating him, right? Lane Kiffin, all he did was turn around and already looking upside Ole Miss team.
Yeah.
This Ole Miss team, yes, they were going 4-8, 5-7, a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets there, they're going 9-3, 10-2, 11-1 this year.
Mm-hmm.
That was already bound to happen. They just needed a good enough coach. I think with Pete Golding as their head coach now, I don't think anything changes. I don't.
I disagree. I feel like you're discrediting. There's a big difference between a 7-5 year and 11-1 year, especially in the SEC.
No,
As an
that's
SEC
true.
hater, like there's plenty of teams that can go 7-5 in the SEC. You can count on one hand the amount of teams that can go 11-1 in the SEC. Like Ole Miss could have been looking up to where they were maybe where. Not saying Vandy's that much below them, but like where Vandy was last year, like maybe Vandy was this year. They were looking up to that. They were never. I don't think they would have ever been the number 6 team in the college football playoff if it weren't Lane Kiffin there. I think if Pete Golden had been there the whole time or someone else, they're not sniffing a playoff like right now. Or if they're sniffing one, it's the 12 seed. They're not being 11-1. They're not being going 11-1 in the SEC. That is Lane Kiffin, in my opinion.
I think, well, you got to think this. Look at last year.
Mm-hmm.
This was a team that they really wanted to get in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh, Ole Miss should make the playoffs." They lost to Kentucky.
Yeah.
They beat Georgia. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. They lost to Kentucky. If you have that low of a quality loss, and this year, who is their only loss? Remind me.
Don't put me on the spot like this. It is Georgia again. It's Georgia, not Georgia again. It's just Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Their other schedule. Their basketball schedule.
The rest of their schedule. Hey, their basketball team's doing pretty good, actually. Shout out Ole Miss basketball.
They didn't play the Bamas and the...
They didn't play Bama. They didn't play A&M. They didn't play...
They did play OU.
Yeah.
Beat them.
They didn't play even... They didn't play Texas. They didn't play...
Mm-mm.
They didn't play Vandy?
No.
Yeah, so they did avoid a lot of the top
Yeah.
SEC teams.
So, I mean, this is a team that I would say, me personally, if they had to play a little bit more of the top teams, let's say they had to play Alabama and Texas, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a 9-3 team. I'm looking at a 9-3 team.
I don't think they lose to Texas.
I think they do. If they
It
play
also
Texas
depends on
later
what,
in the season.
I was going to say, it depends on what
If
Texas
they
we're
played
talking
them-
about, though.
If they played them like
If
last
they
week.
played Texas last week, I'm still taking Ole Miss.
Really?
Yes, but I'm taking Bama over them for sure. And I would argue maybe Vandy would beat them too. But I like how Vandy matches up against them a little bit better than Texas. But we're getting into X's and O's. But like,
Okay, here's my final grade.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a B+.
Wow.
B+.
I'm going A. I want to almost go A+, but I agree. He hasn't won anything yet. I mean, this is his first playoff that now he's not going to coach. So he's still never going to have coached a playoff game before he goes to LSU. But He is probably he's one of the most prominent coaches in the entire college football. People want to play for him. You want to play for Lane Kiffin. He's going to get a lot of transfers. He's going to get a lot of recruits. He's going to the best situation basically possible in LSU. They're one of the top 5 jobs in the nation. And he's going to have $25 million a year allegedly at his disposal. He's going to play the villain role perfectly. He's going to literally show the college football why it is so broken until he forces them to fix it. Like, he is going to throw $25 million at his roster every single year, build a pay-to-win program, and then college football is going to have to respond and fix it. But he's going to win a title before they do that. I think so. So I think I'm giving it an A because I think he will win a title in his 7 years at LSU, and I don't think it takes 7. I think it takes 3. Like, I think he can win a title at LSU, which he couldn't do it at Ole Miss, I don't believe. And so for that reason, if you're hiring a head coach that can bring you a national title, I'm giving that an A.
It's also the expectation for both of these schools.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss, there's not a heavy expectation right now to win a natty.
Yeah.
LSU, whoever they hired, they had 3 years to win a natty. They have 3 years.
I think they'll get a little bit more of a leash than that. Also, because of what just happened with Brian Kelly and their AD, I don't think they're going to want to have to pay another contract if it's 3 years and he hasn't won yet.
That's true, but it's also, you go to these teams like Florida,
mm-hmm.
like Auburn,
mm-hmm.
like LSU. After Ed Orgeron, I know they've had like 2 coaches after that, but they really can't keep a head coach.
Yeah.
Same for Florida, same for Auburn. There's a culture of winning, and if you don't get that done, even if it's your 2nd or 3rd year, you're gone.
Yeah. But I truly believe with that $25 million he can. Like, and I mean, not even with $25 million. I think Lane Kiffin's a good enough coach to get to that level. But on top of that, you give him $25 million at his disposal. I really do. And if he can bring over like Chambliss and a couple guys from Ole Miss while also using that money to find other guys, I mean, they're going to be one of the favorites for the national title next year. Like, they are. And I don't know. I really do believe he can win one there. And I don't think he ever could at Ole Miss. And I know you're saying like the expectation wasn't that high, but also I argue it would have been. I argue in this current college football landscape, it's negative to build a program to good, not great. Look at James Franklin. I know it's a different scenario, but look at James Franklin. Penn State was, when he got the job, was not national title or bust. But he built an expectation of winning so much so that they had to kick him out because he couldn't win one. Lane Kiffin was going to do the same thing at Ole Miss. I believe 2 more years of 10 or 11 wins and not a college football semifinal, he would have been gone. They would have kicked him out too. They would have said, oh, well, we've got an expectation of winning now, and you can't get it done for us. I don't think he was ever going to be able to get it done with the resources Ole Miss were giving him. I think he can at LSU.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about this HOE. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's the long time we're going to spend on. The rest of them, that's just great. There's not a lot of drama with their moves. We'll start with Florida. I mean, a little bit of drama in the sense of they all thought they were going to maybe get Lane. Maybe they thought they were going to...
I never agreed with that.
Same.
Oh, I never saw him going to Florida.
But they get John Summerall, who's, I mean, a good hire. Tulane's head coach. What is your opinions on their hire?
It's Billy Napier 2.0. John Summerall has 2 Sun Belt championships coming from the group of 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know who also did?
Billy Napier.
Billy Napier. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think it's a good hire. Especially, I really like what Summerall's doing at Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, it seems like he's better at recruiting than Billy Napier is.
Yeah.
Already. I mean, just in the portal, you got Retzlaff,
mm-hmm.
who's a really good portal pickup. I mean, he's been great for your team. And I think they have one of the best wide receivers in college football. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's good. I'm going to give it an A-.
Okay.
No, B+.
Here's my opinion on
B+.
it. I like John Summerall. I like him as a hire. If I'm rating him as a hire, I almost want to give it like an A-. But my grade is going to be a lot lower than that. My grade is going to be B-. And here's the reason why. John Summerall is the same level of hire as what Oklahoma State did with Eric Morris. Same level of hire as what Auburn did with Alex Golish. If Florida wants to say they're these big boys, they can go out and spend and go get the best coaches, and they had to go the same route as Arkansas, Auburn, and Oklahoma State to get their head coach, I don't love it. If their expectation was Lane Kiffin and you end up with John Summerall, that's a disappointment. Like if they really thought they were good enough to contend and go maybe get a good coach and steal him from another team because Florida's that good and Florida's built this reputation of a great program, you don't go hire John Summerall. So I like him as a hire. I think he will be a good coach there, but I don't think he's what Florida, I guess, expected or what they think they should need because he's not going to do what a Lane Kiffin or what Florida thinks they should do. He's going to do what Auburn, what Arkansas, what Oklahoma State are doing.
Yeah, but they don't know what they're talking about. I know what they should do because I'm the best. And I think it's a pretty good hire.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good hire. I'm going to give it a B minus for that one. Moving over, we just mentioned Oklahoma State. We're repping our Oklahoma State merch. Let's not take too long to get there. They got ahead of the cycle. They were like the first one to fire their shot and say, we got our guy. They get North Texas's Eric Morris. Now, you and me both on this show have been very big fans of Eric Morris in North Texas this year. The Mean Green have been going crazy. Number one offense in the nation. So many amazing storylines about their. I mean, I don't know if you saw the storyline about their general manager. He's literally 24 years old, being the general manager of a college football team. You got Mestamaker, obviously, that's never played a high school snap at quarterback, and now he's leading the nation in passing yards. You got the true freshman running back in Hawkins leading the nation in touchdowns. Like, this team is, I mean, it's storybook. Like, they really got to beat Tulane, and they got to make the college football playoff. But for Oklahoma State, I mean, I think it's a home run. What is your opinion? I know we're probably biased, but this is the guy. I don't remember exactly where you were, but when we fired Gundy, my two options were I wanted North Dakota State's Tom Pulisic or I wanted Eric Morris.
I don't think.
And I've been preaching Eric Morris for over a month straight to everyone after I realized that North Dakota State's coach was not an option. Cause
I don't think you were preaching North Dakota State's coach at the start.
At the start? No, I was. That was the first coach I said was North Dakota State's coach. And then I realized, okay, he's not in any rumors. No one's saying anything. I must be kind of crazy here that it's not going to happen. So that's when I switched to Morris.
You were preaching Zach Robinson really early.
Yeah. I wouldn't say. I never had Robinson over Pulisic or Morris, but I did have Robinson in the mix.
All right.
And then I watched them put up 0 points against Carolina, and I said, ooh.
So what's your grade?
I'm giving it, it's going to be biased. I'm giving it an A+. Because for what, again, I'm grading these also for the schools. Is A+, am I saying he's better than Kiffin as a coach who's an A? No, but different schools have different expectations. I genuinely think he was the best of the group of 5 coaches you could have grabbed. I liked him more than Summerall. I liked him more than Golish. I liked him more than Memphis's coach. I liked him more than James Madison's coach. Like, I really do believe this was the best group of 5 coach. He's going to bring a high-powered offense. And on top of that, I guess I'll give it an A for now. It will change to an A+ if Mestamaker and Hawkins come with him. Because he brings the best luggage with him. He brings the designer bags and like the fancy toys with him better than any of these other coaches can bring. Mestamaker and Hawkins are the best duo you can bring from one of these group of 5 schools.
Okay.
I'm again, group of 5 schools. You can Trinidad Chambliss, obviously the best person you can bring out of like the coaches that are leaving.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I agree with you. I'm gonna give it an A.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to ask you something real quick.
Okay.
So you're talking about bringing Mestamaker, which I agree.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably gonna come. But you also talk about bringing in Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkins, he's a freshman this year, gonna be a sophomore, redshirt sophomore.
Yeah.
But if that happens, that means you're getting rid of the one bright spot Oklahoma State had this year, Rodney Fields Jr. You're taking away his job.
I'm fine with that. Like, his job's already been taken. Last week he didn't even really play. It was Howland. Like,
I think that was by choice.
I mean, maybe, but like, don't get me wrong. Fields has had his flashes. He's looked good. I'm not saying let's stick with the guy that we already have here and that's maybe good versus the guy I know is great. I don't know if Fields will ever get great. I know Hawkins is already great. I don't know if Fields will even stay good. I know Hawkins is already great. Like, I do value sometimes, yes, keeping your guys, and I think Fields hopefully will still stay and can be like he's a good receiving back too, so maybe he could be like just the RB2, but if you can go get a guy like Hawkins, I don't worry about who's in this locker room. I go get him. I go get best talent available and figure it out later, and that is the best talent available for our situation.
And Eric Morris, he's 40.
He's a man. He's 40. It's perfect. It's perfect. He's young. He knows the college football landscape really well. And then obviously we haven't even mentioned it. The nickname, the quarterback whisperer. Everyone probably knows the story, but maybe someone who's listening and doesn't know the story of Eric Morris. He was the OC, he was the QB coach for Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech. Then he was at Incarnate Ward for a little bit. Recruited 0-star Cam Ward to Incarnate Ward. Ward and Word are going to get me confused. To Incarnate Word. Then took Ward to Washington State with him and was his coach there and turned him into the prospect that he was to go to Miami and get drafted.
John Mateer.
Then he got John Mateer, built him up to the guy he was to go over to OU. Goes to North Texas, turns Chandler Morris into a great quarterback that's now the quarterback for the team that's probably going to win the ACC title in Virginia. And then now he turns a guy that's never played a snap in high school football into the leading passer in the nation in Drew Messmaker. He's the quarterback whisperer. So honestly, I've heard people say, what if Messmaker doesn't come? I say I'm not worried. He's figured it out before. He'll figure it out again. I don't know what he's doing and what he does different, but he knows how to turn quarterbacks that maybe don't have a lot of stars next to their name and turn them into one.
I'll say this. I believe if I walked on to Oklahoma State as quarterback, I believe Eric Morris could turn me into a reasonable quarterback.
I'm a walk on. Everyone's gonna walk on. No, for real. Like he has whatever he's doing, it's working. So I think it's an amazing hire. I keep saying we're gonna go quicker, and we're not going quicker. But let's start going quicker. Auburn.
Okay.
Golish.
Golish. I'm gonna give the hire a B-.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I mean, at a group of 5, what you're trying to do, it's a fine hire. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna go a little bit higher than Summerall. I'm gonna go B+. I do like Golish. I like the culture he's built at USF. Obviously, he hasn't had as good of a season as like a Tulane or a North Texas, but I like the culture he's building. I like his personality. And especially for Auburn, I think that's a great hire as a guy that maybe can come and be like a wild card, which is kind of what they need. They want to be a wild card. They're never going to be a national title contender. Let's be completely honest. At least they haven't been since Cam Newton. So that's not the goal for this guy. It's to come in and create some chaos and go make some bowl games and maybe get a 9 or 10 win season in there somewhere. And I think he can do that. So I'm going to go B+.
He was also a coordinator at Tennessee.
Yeah. I saw when he got hired, the first thing I saw was Tennessee fans actually in the comment section saying, I wish he never left us. Like, I love him. This is a great hire for Auburn. Like, and if Tennessee fans are giving you that nod of approval to another SEC team, I like the hire. So, next one, we're going to go over to Arkansas. We're going to stay in the SEC. What do you think about Arkansas's hire?
Ryan Silverfield.
Of Ryan Silverfield, Memphis's coach.
Yeah. Again, it's probably right in that mid-tier for me. I'm going to give it a B- again. Because this Memphis team is a team that beat Arkansas. So you want to take the coach of a team that beat you. And he's shown real brights. Although Memphis has kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think it's a good hire. And I mean, Arkansas, there's not a pressure of like being an SEC top contender.
Yeah.
There's just a pressure of, come on, man, let's make a bowl game. Let's get 6 wins next year.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I think Arkansas deserves it. They're kind of like Oklahoma State, just having a terrible, terrible season. And you're just trying to figure out something to do.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a lot lower on this hire. Of all of the hires, this was the worst one. Like, and of the coaches available, of, again, the Golishes, the Morrises, we're about to talk about Chesney, of Summerall. Like, Arkansas, from what it sounded like from reports, it sounded like they went for all of them. And they got rejected by all of them, it feels like. There was the big report that Arkansas, their guy was Eric Morris. They lost the war to Oklahoma State, which obviously go to Oklahoma State, but that's kind of sad. You're an SEC team. You should be able to pull a guy more than the Oklahoma State team, but you couldn't. We got our guy and they didn't. What?
Hold on, I just saw that we're looking at the same thing.
What do you mean? Oh, but and again, he hasn't done anything at Memphis. They haven't even won the conference since, like, in the last couple of years. This year they fall off. They didn't even make the championship game. I mean, obviously they didn't even get close to the championship game. Last year they went to the Frisco Bowl. Okay, they won it. I was there. It's a cool game. But there's nothing special about him. He doesn't move the needle. He doesn't change anything. I would, like, this still feels like a 3-9 Arkansas team next year with him. Like, I don't think this moves the needle for me at all. And for that reason, I'm actually going to give it my only C, and I'm going to give it a C. So, Now, the last one we're going to talk about, unless I'm forgetting something, is UCLA, right? We've gone through everyone else?
No. Virginia Tech.
Oh!
Go
We
on.
missed a big one. My bad. Let's get to that one. Virginia Tech, James Franklin. In my opinion, the best hire of the cycle. Some will agree, some will. People have very heavy opinions on Franklin. You either think he is terrible and can't win, or you think this is going to be huge and this is the huge hire and he didn't given a fair chance at Penn State to see it through. Where do you stand with the Franklin hire, especially for a Virginia Tech?
I think it's a good hire. I mean, Virginia Tech, they're not like Penn State. They're not looking for a national title or probably not going to compete for the ACC championship next year, probably the year after.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that just needs a bounce back.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember, I guess we don't really remember, but Virginia Tech used to be a dominant program.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Vick. They just used to be a dominant program. People used to be afraid of Sandstorm coming out. Now it's just,
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. I mean, Virginia, they won 27-7. I mean, Virginia, Keon Drones, he looks so promising, and it looks like they just destroyed him mentally and physically.
Yeah.
So, I really think it's a good hire. He's probably bringing a lot of big pieces from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a good hire.
What is your grade?
A.
Hey, okay. I think this was the best hire of the cycle. I'm gonna be completely honest because he's not. I wouldn't give him as good as Kiffin, but he's in the conversation with the Kiffins, and Virginia Tech got him. Like that is huge for the program. No pun, no like joke intended. Huge for the program. Already, I mean, Virginia Tech has a very like good fan base too. Like they're a fan base that wants to win. They're a fan base that wants to rally around their guy. I feel like they're not going to be a fan base that's hating on him if he loses a big game. They're just going to be happy he's there. Like you know what I mean? So he went to a good place for him, for starters. But I mean, you've already seen the impact he's had. Almost every single Penn State commit is flipping. Like people weren't going to Penn State because it's Penn State. Penn State honestly doesn't have that glorious of like a history. People were going to Penn State because of James Franklin. He's gone. And now all those guys are coming to Virginia Tech with him. I genuinely think he can turn Virginia Tech into a team that can compete for an ACC title year in, year out. I think he'll make a playoff pretty quickly at Virginia Tech, especially with the ACC, again, not being that strong of a conference. And, I mean, he's going to bring over some people from Penn State, maybe some coaches from Penn State. Like, I really do love this hire. I'm giving it an A+. It's the only A+ I'm going to give. I don't think Virginia Tech could have done any better. There's no one else out there even close to the level of Franklin they could have gotten. People didn't want to take a shot on him because of the narrative that he can't win. He was just in the college. They got Virginia Tech has a head coach that was just in the college football semifinals last year. That's crazy to say. And people say he can't win. Yeah, I mean, he's lost some big games to Ohio States and the Oregons recently. But I mean, he made a college football semifinal. And hey, I think Virginia Tech would love it if they could just go 10-2 every year and make a playoff. I think they'd love it. So I think he's completely redoing this program, and I think this is the best hire of the cycle. Final one now, because I said final one a second ago and I was wrong. It's UCLA. They hired James Madison's Bob Chesney. I'm gonna be honest. I am a little surprised they didn't go with their offensive coordinator. Obviously, the hype's died down a little bit since that Penn State upset. But like, still, he's the guy in the locker room, even though they have an interim head coach that's the one giving the post-game speeches. That's the one's talking to players. The players are rallying behind. I feel like the players love him. So hopefully, at least he'll stay on the staff and still be the OC. And I think obviously he'd stay. I don't think he's going to feel disrespected enough to not stay as the OC. So he'll probably stay if Chesney wants him. And I think it'd be dumb of Chesney not to keep him. But outside of that, James Madison's head coach. What do you think about this hire?
I mean, if you have a guy who's being compared to Curtis Signetti, I think you have a good hire.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a B+. I think what JMU has done since, I mean, you could say in the past 2 years, but just since they got into FBS level, is nothing short of amazing. I think, they have one losing season since coming in?
Yeah.
It's incredible to watch. I mean, you have a team who if somebody woke up from a coma in 2018, they're going to be like, who the heck is James Madison?
The Dukes.
So, is this a good hire? Yes, I do agree with you. Culture, will it stay the same? Will it be different? Who's JMU going to hire? I mean, they're 2 for 2. Can they go for 3 for 3?
Facts. Well, and the crazy thing I'm reading now, obviously looking at this site, he's a Pennsylvania native. Penn State missed out on him. Penn State still doesn't have a coach, by the way. I don't know what's going on with them. We'll talk. Maybe we can mention them in a second. But I really love the hire. I mean, like you said, maybe I'm a little bit higher on it because of Cignetti, and I don't want to like. I'm usually the person not to say, okay, if A equaled B, then or I don't know. If 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2 doesn't mean they're the same. 1 equals 2, like that's not how that works. So that's a better comparison. Jeez, I was trying to figure it out. So I don't want to like say, oh, he's Cignetti, because I was the guy at the beginning of the season saying everyone is way too high on the Minnesota Vikings just because it worked with Sam Darnold doesn't mean it's going to work with JJ McCarthy. Like just because one worked and it looks similar doesn't mean it's going to work again. This one I think is a little bit different. I really do love Bob Chesney. Before James Madison, he was an FCS coach at Holy Cross. They made 5 consecutive FCS playoff appearances. So he's a guy that knows how to make a playoff. He's a guy that knows how to win games. He knows how to build a winning culture. Obviously at JMU this year, if they win their conference championship this weekend, there's a very good chance that they get the Group of 5 bid. If North Texas beats Tulane, it's a flip a coin. Unless Duke wins and they both get in, it's flip a coin and JMU could be in a playoff game in about a week. So I love this hire. I love it for UCLA. I think he'll be a great culture builder. I'm giving this as high as an A-. I really, really do like the hire for UCLA. But that's it. I think that's it. Do we want to talk about Penn State or do we need to move on?
We need to move on.
I mean, at this point, this is going to be an hour and a half show. I'm already playing. It's fine. It could be an hour and a half show because it's our last show this season. But let's move on then.
I think it's already an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh, we're already at like an hour. Okay. This one I'm going to let you take the reins more on, so I'll sit back. Maybe that'll help because I yap a lot. But Mason had a good idea that he wanted to break down each of the Power 4 conferences, like quickly break down, of basically what basically played out. Like preseason, we thought this was going to happen, this happened, or just talking about the conference as a whole, how it looked for the year. So we'll start in alphabetical order. We'll start with the ACC. Turned into a dumpster fire towards the end with absolute chaos scenario, worst case scenario for them, Duke making the ACC title game. But what are your opinions on the conference as a whole? I mean, the fact they have 6 teams that are 6-2 and above is, I'd say pretty good.
Okay, so if you were to tell me, if you would have showed me this standings right now at the beginning of the season, I would say you're crazy. I would say this is not going to happen. Clemson went 7-5, 4-4 in conference. They started out a top 10 team, or just outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Florida State, if you showed me this after they beat Bama, I would think you're crazy. 5-7, 2-6 in conference. North Carolina.
I was about to say, you got to mention Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. Reported as the greatest hire in North Carolina history. 4-8. What is going on in the ACC? And then at the top, you have a team who I think went 4-8 last year, and that was 10-2 Virginia. It's insane. And I really hate how the ACC has done this. I really hate how Duke made the champion.
Yeah, their tiebreakers need to change.
I believe that Georgia Tech, Miami, Pitt, and SMU all deserved it better than Duke.
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee, I already know. ACC is also going to change this rule next year. They're going to change probably the number 1 tiebreaker to overall record. Because if you ever want to chance your conference, if you ever want to risk your conference not getting the automatic bid, you need your best teams in there with the best resumes. Letting a 7-5 team into your ACC title game means you could there's a world where ACC ends with no bid in a week. They're not in the college football playoff at all. Whereas if you go off a record as tiebreaker, it's Miami, Virginia, winners in. Like that, there's no debate that the winner's in that one. So I think they'll change the tiebreaker. But yeah, ACC messed up on this one with how they sorted out their tiebreakers.
And I mean, you just have, like you said, it's just chaos. The ACC chaos. You have SMU, who's looking like a really good team after they kind of slumped at the start of the season, lose to Cal.
Mm-hmm.
You have Louisville.
They look great at the beginning of the year.
Really good. They beat JMU.
They beat Miami.
Only lost.
They beat Miami.
4-4 conference. 8-4 total.
Fell off a cliff.
I mean, you have Wake Forest, who's upsetting all these teams for no reason. 4-4 in conference. You have Stanford. They lost to Hawaii week 2.
Yeah.
4-4.
And then you got Georgia Tech.
3-5.
You got Georgia Tech, who looked like the easy auto bid for this conference, and then they go and lose 2 games.
They lost to Wake Forest. No, they barely beat Wake Forest. They lose to.
You can click on their name and it would tell you.
I know, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be like smart, you know.
And they lost to Georgia.
NC State and Pitt.
NC State, Pitt, and then they lose to Georgia. So they lose. They were. What were they before they lost to NC State? Was it 6-0, 7-0?
They were 8.
8-0, and now they're 9-3. So they fell off a cliff. So
Yes.
They really just bit themselves in the butt. They feel like Big 12's little brother.
I do want to recognize this. Georgia Tech played Boston College.
Mm.
This Boston College 1-7 in conference, 2-10 total. Beat them by 2 points.
Mm.
This Georgia Tech team was such an enigma. I picked them to win the ACC preseason.
It looked really good.
Haynes King looked like a Heisman contender. Now he looks like he's not even going to get drafted.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Okay, I'm going to move on from the ACC.
Okay.
They make me mad.
Let's move over to the Big 12. Big 12, I mean, obviously, some chaos as always, but honestly not as crazy. Definitely not as crazy as the ACC. And then it's the expected chaos. You know the Big 12 is going to have a lot of turnover every year. But, I mean, the top teams, 3 of the top teams were picked in the top 4 to win this conference, probably by most people. So we'll start with the biggest shock, in my opinion, was Baylor. Baylor falling off a cliff. They returned a lot of talent with Sawyer Robertson, Bryson Washington, Josh Cameron, Michael Trigg. They looked dominant to start the year. They were I hate to say it, they were my pick to win the conference. And they were a lot of people's pick. Like the Big 12 probably had the most parity of like, there's probably 6 teams getting votes to win the conference. It was Tech, it was BYU, it was Utah, it was Arizona State, it was Baylor, and then Kansas State. Obviously, Kansas State fell off a cliff too. But
yeah, I do want to bring that up.
But I mean, Baylor the offense was good. It slowed down as the season goes on, but the defense was just horrific.
Yeah, I feel like that's Big 12.
Yeah, but Dave Aranda, he's supposed to be a defensive guy. He should be gone. He should be gone. He should be fired. The fact that he didn't, I will say, I think it was smart to not fire him because all the coaches got with all the early firings this year, all the good coaches were going to get taken that they could have gone for, the JMUs, the Eric Morrises. I think next year, he needs to be gone by the early next season so they can start figuring out who they want to replace him with.
All right. I do want to talk about the biggest disappointment, in my opinion, in the Big 12. It's not Baylor. I really wasn't high on Baylor. Mm-hmm. I saw them as a 7-5 team. They went 5-7.
It's Oklahoma State, right? Because we were supposed to win the conference.
Yes. It's Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kansas State. You have a really good game, week 0. You lose by 3 to Iowa State, ranked Iowa State. Okay, fine. Okay. Mm-hmm. You beat North Dakota, who's an FCS powerhouse, not as North Dakota State, but they're still really, really good.
Yeah.
You beat them by 3. Fine. You lose to Army. Army by 3.
Army?
You lose to Army by 3. Okay, fine. Army, they're looking like the team last year. Now they aren't, but then you lose to Arizona. Then you're starting questioning. You're 1-3, right? You beat UCF. Okay, we're coming back.
Momentum.
So now you're sitting at 2-4. You're like, okay, our season's over. But now they finally showing what we knew, mm-hmm. Right? They went 4-2 in their last 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
They beat teams like TCU, who I was really high on TCU. They beat Kansas. That was mid.
Yeah. That's like 18 straight in the Sunflower Showdown for them.
And then their final 2 wins, were not good. I mean, Oklahoma State just by 8 points, and then Colorado by 10 points. Those are the bottom feeders of the Big 12.
2 worst teams in the Big 12.
Okay, let's. I'm gonna break it down, and then we'll go to the Big 10, like I did the ACC. You have Texas Tech and BYU. Cool. 8-1. BYU lost to Texas Tech. That's their only loss. Texas Tech having lost to Arizona State makes me so mad.
It was the 3rd-string quarterback, though.
I do not care. You're losing to Arizona State. Let me get this straight. Arizona State is not a good team. I don't care what the record says. I don't care if they're 8-4, Connor. I don't care if they're 6-3 in conference. This is a bad team.
They're 8-4 and 6-3 in conference because Sam Levitt's out for the season and Jordan Tyson got hurt as well. When Tech lost to them, they were playing with their third string quarterback, and Arizona State still had Levitt and Tyson.
Yes, but you're talking about this star-studded defense. Like, this is a defense that, quote-unquote, should not be in the Big 12.
Yeah, fair.
Lose to Arizona State. That's just, it just makes me mad because Texas Tech should be undefeated, right?
But it's not like the defense was really the major problem. They gave up 26. That was the most they gave up all season. Yes, but 26 is still a very winnable game. If you have Baron Morton, you're winning that game. You're putting up outside, I guess Kansas State they won, or BYU they won 29-7. Outside of BYU, they didn't put up less than 34 in a game. So if you have your starting quarterback, you're winning this. So 29 is the lowest they put up with Morton. So if you have your starting quarterback, you're winning this game. I don't think if you have their backup, I liked their backup, Hammond. If they even have their backup, they're winning that game. It really just was unfortunate for them that they had to go out there and play with third string, and they had to face the only basically game of the season Arizona State was healthy.
Okay, and then you get to what I think is the biggest surprise of the season: Houston Cougars.
Oh yeah, that is probably the biggest.
Connor
surprise.
Wegman finally played what A&M expected him to play as.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing really good. He's one of the best dual threat quarterbacks, I think, of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Haynes King, Marcel Reed, and him.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, all three of them went to A&M.
Haynes King went to A&M.
Yes, he was at A&M.
Yeah.
All three went to A&M. And then you have Arizona. I like what they're doing over there. And then you get to where I'm pissed. Kansas, 3-6 in conference. What are they doing? They have Jalen Daniels, who's supposed to come back and be like, oh, the savior of Kansas football.
No.
You go 5-7, 3-6 in conference. UCF. Scott Frost. Still Scott Frost, right?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about UCF in a minute.
Let's just say it's
They're
Scott
like
Frost.
the most
Scott
irrelevant
Frost,
team.
what are you doing?
But what did you expect of them? I thought they were
I
going to
expected
go 2-7.
more than 2-7 in conference.
Yeah, but they lost all their good players.
Again, Connor, with the portal, with where they are, with the money that they have.
But with where they are, I feel like that's hard to say because where they are, there's 6 more prominent teams around them.
That is true, but they're also in a city where people want to go to.
Like,
if you're talking about Oklahoma State, you're not in a city that people want to go to.
But the Midwestern, we got a lot less to recruit against. Outside of an OU, a Kansas guy, it's Kansas State, or us. We're in the realm. Whereas they got to compete against the Floridas, the Miamis. Even not Tulane should probably be higher than them, but Tulane this year kind of was.
They're not competing with Tulane.
Tulane? No, not never mind. Never mind, not Tulane. Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of?
USF?
Yes, I was thinking. It was an American team with. My bad. USF.
Tulane. Yes.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
So that. There's some better teams, and Florida State, even though Florida State was bad this year.
But it's also just money. Money speaks.
Do they have the money more than a Florida State, Miami?
They don't, but they do have the resources to spend the money on a prospect.
But they want to use it for a spaceship.
Yes, Connor. They want to use it for a spaceship. Anyways, Deion Sanders. He's on the hot seat.
He kind of is.
1-8, 3-9 in conference after you barely missed out on the Big 12 conference game.
Yeah, and he had good quarterbacks. Supposed to have good.
You had a Heisman wide receiver in corner. You had a pretty good quarterback in Shedeur Sanders.
Pretty good. He was probably the best in the conference last year.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Levitt had a really good season.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Big Ten.
Quicker. Okay.
Okay.
There's
you have Indiana.
18 teams in here. You can't.
You have Indiana and Ohio State. Not arguably the best 2 teams in the nation, right?
Yeah.
They play each other on Saturday. I'm going to be watching.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you have the Oregon Ducks. Only 1 loss on the season. It was against Indiana. Really good game. They're looking really good. Should they have made the Big Ten conference game if, let's say, them and Ohio State have a loss?
Mm-hmm.
I still think Ohio State gets it.
Yeah.
That's just what I think, even though Oregon lost to the number team in the nation right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have USC, Michigan,
Iowa, surprisingly. Not surprisingly. I mean,
Iowa.
they've been pretty decent for years, but like they had a better year than I probably thought they were going to have.
Well, they have USC, Michigan, Iowa, Washington, Illinois, and Minnesota, all with a over 500 conference record, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Illinois. Yeah, I can't say that. I was gonna say they're the biggest disappointment, but you got Penn State, over UCLA. Illinois started out ranked. That lost to Indiana. I mean, they've fallen off since that.
That was crazy.
That was a crazy game.
That is the worst belt of the season, I think. I mean, like, of a good team. Like, obviously, Oregon, 69-3.
Yeah.
Like, there's some bad losses.
Of a good team, yes.
But of a good team. They were a ranked team. What, it was like 70-10?
No.
Or 63-10?
It was, 63-10, I think.
Okay, so, I mean, belt.
Yeah, belt. Minnesota, fine, whatever. Nebraska. You had them starting off ranked too. You had Dylan Raiola.
Patrick
Of course,
Mahomes.
with all of his injuries, you can't really blame them for not doing what they were supposed to.
Yeah.
And then you have Northwestern. Biggest shock. My goodness. Northwestern, always been a bottom feeder.
Bowl eligible. They're going
They
bowling.
are bowling.
The fact that Penn State's still bowling, sorry, I didn't realize that till right now that
They
Penn
are
State's still
bowling.
going bowling.
And they've always been a bottom feeder. They get this really good quarterback in Preston Stone. I really believed in him at SMU, and now he goes to Northwestern. Starts off terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I think his stat line for touchdowns and interceptions was 1 in 5 in the first 3 games. Terrible. Then he figures it out. He figures out the system. They're 6-6. They're going bowling. UCLA. Niku Imaliava should be arrested and charged for treason and felony larceny. He stole, I think it was $5 million from this team just to give them a 3-9 season. Are you joking? Are you kidding? This is unbelievable. You got a poor man fired.
But they upset Penn State.
At his alum. You got a poor man fired at his alum.
We also got James Franklin fired.
You got 2 people fired in the season. You are awful, and I hate you. Anyways, Penn State going bowling.
Yeah.
Good job. You're the biggest disappointment, too.
And quick question for you, and then we'll move on to the next conference because who cares about the bottom feeders? Does Penn State recover? Like, are they a team?
It depends on who they hire.
I mean, yeah, it just depends on who they hire. But like, let's even say it's BYU's coach. I mean, he's a good coach, not gonna lie. But like, are they ever going to be in that Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan conversation again, or are they always going to be stuck in that USC, Iowa realm?
It's hard to say right now.
I feel like
I
they're
would
not
say
going
right
to be
now.
a first-tier team again.
I would say right now they would be the same level as Iowa.
Yeah, I think they will be in that Iowa, UCLA, USC range for a while.
Okay, before we go to the next one, the
Okay.
final one, I do want to talk about one team.
What?
Michigan State. You have Michigan State. Let's look back 7 years ago. All right. They have, they have Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of the best running backs in the nation. They're looking really good. I mean, you have great quarterbacks coming from Michigan State. You have Kirk Cousins, for example. They're going 8-4, 9-3 every season.
Mm-hmm.
After COVID, they've won 4 total games. 4, Connor. Imagine you go to Michigan State, 2021. Oh, I'm so excited! Yay, Big Ten team! Woo! I love football. You see 4 wins in your whole college career. 4.
They get 4 conference
No,
wins or 4
Yes,
wins?
4 conference.
Okay, I was about to
Yes,
say.
no, not like total wins.
Okay.
Who cares when they play like Western Michigan or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 total conference wins. That is insane, Connor.
We haven't seen a conference win in 2 years.
Actually, no, 5 now. That was before they beat Maryland. But yeah, 5. That's insane. Anyways, let's go to the SEC. I really want Michigan State to figure it out.
SEC, what do you want to talk about? This conference went a lot more how it was expected to be outside of maybe an A&M in Texas.
Yeah.
Where Texas was preseason number 1, shouldn't have ever been preseason number 1, but preseason number 1 to probably miss in the college football playoff. and A&M from the 8-4 realm to finally going to 11-0 before losing to Texas. So that's probably the big storyline. I mean, I don't think there's much shock with a Georgia and Ole Miss. Bama after Florida State, I mean, great bounce back, but nothing crazy to talk about. OU, I mean, definitely took a step up this year, and even with the Mateer injury, still finding a way to 10-2 is impressive. Vandy took another leap, but what is there anything else specifically you want to talk about with this conference outside of maybe LSU's collapse and the Texas schools flipping?
Yes, I do want to talk about what I've been doing for the past 3 conferences. We'll talk about biggest surprise, biggest letdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Biggest letdown for me in this conference is Tennessee.
Not LSU?
Not LSU, surprisingly, because I wasn't really high on them. I knew, first of all, I knew that winning against Clemson was a bad win. I watched the game, and I was like, Clemson just played bad. It's not like LSU played good. It was just Clemson was just really bad. And come to see it, I'm right. This LSU team never had a good defense unless Whit Weeks was playing.
Mm-hmm.
He was the controller of that whole defense. If Whit Weeks, he was injured for 3-4 weeks. When he was out, their defense just absolutely got crapped on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of expected. What was not expected was Tennessee going 8-4, 4-4 in conference. You would think.
What did you expect out of them?
I would think they would go 6-2 in conference. They would be 10-2, vying for a playoff spot. Right. I mean, you have Joey Aguilar, who's not of the level of Nico and Maliava, or what Nico was at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
In college football. He knows the system. It's just they didn't play well. It's just, when it came down to it, Tennessee did not play well. They lost to Vandy last week, right? Which, good, right? They lost to Georgia, fair. I mean, honestly, their 4 losses are 2 ranked teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like OU, Georgia, Bama, Vandy.
Yeah.
But other than that, you see their wins, and you're like, this team could have gone, if they had to play tougher opponents, they could have gone 5-7.
Yeah.
Because they played Syracuse, bottom feeder in the ACC. East Tennessee State, UAB, Mississippi State, 1-7 in conference. Arkansas, 0-8 in conference, beat them by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky, 1-7 in conference, 2-6 in conference. Sorry. New Mexico State and Florida. You're telling me that this team was vying for a playoff spot last year, and now they can't win big games? That's my biggest disappointment. My highest surprise is Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Obviously. Come on. You're 11-0. You walk into Darrell Royal Stadium. I think is that it?
I don't know.
Is that Texas Stadium? I don't know.
Oh, Texas Stadium?
Yeah. Darrell K. Royal, something like that. Whatever.
It's definitely not Darrell Royal, but
I think there's a Royal in there.
not Texas Stadium. UT Stadium. Oh, never mind, you're right. It's Darrell K. Royal.
Hey!
Okay, that does not sound right to me, but I don't... DKR. That makes more sense. I just hear it as DKR.
You are going to DKR. You lose a really big game, a really important game, because, I mean, Texas is an enigma. I don't even want to talk about them. Texas A&M. Have they had quality wins? Like we just talked about Tennessee not having
really.
quality wins.
Outside of Notre Dame, not really.
Outside of Notre Dame, Texas A&M does not have quality wins. What, they played 2 ranked teams in the SEC, not including Texas. LSU, they were number 20 at the time.
But now not good.
And Missouri.
Which, did they play Missouri with Prbula or without Prbula? Because that's a big difference in what Missouri team they face.
I think it was without. Yeah, it was with Zollers.
Okay, so yeah, that's not even a good win.
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at they're playing the bottom 6 teams in the SEC.
Yeah. So what that means for playoff time, we'll see. But
what that means for playoff time, we'll see. But what that also means is, even with the easy schedule, they were still a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
You would think Texas A&M team can't go higher than 8-4. Well, they just proved you wrong.
Yep.
Also, honorable mention, before we end this. Oklahoma. As much as I hate them, you can't deny what their defense is doing.
Yeah.
You can't deny what that team is doing. I mean, if you told me they went 10-2 this season, I would say you're bonkers. Right?
Yeah.
This Oklahoma team, although everybody knew John Machir was going to be good, they didn't think 10-2 playoff spot. I definitely didn't think playoff spot. Right?
Yeah.
I thought this was too much of a competitive SEC. I thought they were going to go 4-4 in conference.
Yeah.
To be honest, 6-2 is not far off. But yeah, that's it.
Well, now we've got a debate to do because we're already at like an hour and a half. But we said we're gonna pick the conference championship games, so we'll pick them. But like we genuinely just got to pick them, and that's it.
Okay.
We're not gonna pick every game. We're gonna pick the big ones. North Texas, Tulane, Friday night.
North Texas.
I'm going North Texas. You can give a quick sentence or two. Why?
No, I don't need to.
Okay. I think North Texas is going to win this. It is at Tulane because their conference championship's at the home team of the higher seed. So that is interesting. But I'm going to go North Texas. Boise State, UNLV.
That one's interesting. Honestly, I'm going UNLV, even though I love Boise.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the same Boise team as last year.
No, I think I'm on the same page here. I want to pick Boise State. I also probably know more about the Boise State team, but UNLV's looked really good this year. I'm going UNLV. Troy at James Madison, also Friday night.
JMU.
Yeah, it's JMU. Not much to say there. JMU's winning. And now the question is, if you got James Madison, you've got North Texas winning, who gets the Group of 5 spot? Pretending that Virginia beats Duke, because that's a different question. If there's only one Group of 5 spot, who gets it?
I don't know. I think the committee loves JMU more than North Texas.
They do.
Be honest.
They do.
But I want North Texas.
I think it should be North Texas, but I think they will give it to JMU. BYU, Texas Tech. Big 12 championship.
Tech.
I'm going to also go Tech, but I'm really hoping for BYU because I want two Big 12 teams to make the playoff, and that's the only way they can do it. Cause,
I don't even care at this point.
But I think it's going to be Tech. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the first time, but I think we maybe get like a 27-21 or something, like a little bit closer than whatever it was.
I do want to point out that in the Power 4 championship games, Texas Tech is the highest favored.
Yeah, that makes sense.
13.5.
Dang, that's a big spread. That just shows how good Texas Tech is this year. Now we'll hit the last three Power 4 teams. Georgia, Bama, in Atlanta. What do you got?
I have Bama. Because Kirby Smart cannot figure out a way to beat Bama.
Do they do it twice in one season, though?
They've done it twice in one season.
They have, yes.
It's always Georgia and Alabama SEC championship. Now, do they always play in the regular season? No. They usually do.
Yeah.
I think Kirby Smart's what? 1-6 against Bama?
They get 1-7.
Yeah. 1-6 against Bama, and the only win was in the Natty? Come on. Bama.
Yeah, I'm also going Bama. I mean, we both talked about it a couple weeks ago on the show that like we're not that high on Georgia. They keep getting wins, but they're not pretty. I trust Bama a lot more and Ty Simpson a lot more.
I was that close to beating everybody in the scope of I picked Georgia Tech to beat Georgia. That close.
Final two to hit: Virginia, Duke. What do you got?
For my sake, and my narrative that I want to write, I'm picking Duke.
Because you want two Group of 5 teams? I am going to be... This game is actually my favorite conference championship game of the weekend. I'm going to be watching this one probably the closest because of the fact that I really so badly want Duke to win. Actually, I'm watching North Texas Tulane the closest. But then outside of that, I'm going to be watching this game, cheering for Duke, so we get James Madison and North Texas, or James Madison and Tulane in the playoffs. However, I'm picking Virginia. They've looked like the better team this season. Obviously, you got the 10-2 versus 7-5. I'm going to roll with the 10-2. I'm gonna roll. I like Chandler Morris too a lot. I liked him at UNT last year.
And something to point out: Duke is 0-3 versus AP top opponents.
So yeah, I really it's crazy that Duke's even in this game. They should be happy they made it. Final thing on the show. Final game we're picking. The biggest game of probably the entire season. 1 versus 2. Undefeated versus undefeated. Ohio State versus Indiana. The game is in Indianapolis, but it's not obviously at Indiana. Who are you picking?
So the FPI projection on ESPN, it's Indiana by 0.1 point with a 51% probability to win the game outright.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. You have Heisman favorite Fernando Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
You have a team who's playing lights out for the whole season.
Yeah.
The whole season. And you have Ohio State. Showed some struggle against Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
They lost to Michigan last year and they won the Natty.
Mm-hmm.
Still, you're seeing Julian Sayin bring out what he actually is, right? A system quarterback. I know. Whoa. I always knew he was a system quarterback. I still think he's a good quarterback.
You still think he's better than the Ty Simpsons and the Fernando Mendozas?
I don't think he's better than Fernando.
Okay. I'll take anything. I'll take an inch. I'll take whatever you like.
But yes, he's a system quarterback, and if you shut that system down, I think there's an easy path to beat this Ohio State team.
Yeah.
With
Ohio
the
State
loss,
does have the better defense, though. I will say that.
That is true. With the loss, do you think Ohio State goes down to the number 2 or goes to the 4?
Who's 3 right now? Georgia? Yes. So Georgia's also going to lose. Who's 4 right now? Tech?
No, Tech is 5.
Is it Oregon or Ole Miss? We're missing somebody. Oh, it's A&M, right?
Yes.
No, A&M fell to 6. We haven't
Right.
seen the new playoff poll, by the way, also.
Yeah.
This is just the AP poll.
Can I look that
Yeah,
up?
I'm looking up the AP poll, college football. No, 4 is Oregon. 5's Tech.
What?
So that's in the AP poll. They randomly jumped Tech. It was stupid. I don't know. But regardless, the answer's no. Ohio State's 2. If they lose to Indiana, they will be the best one-loss team in the nation. And then also,
what if Georgia wins?
If Georgia wins, they will. If Georgia wins, Georgia's 2. I don't think they should be it, but yes, if their only loss is, if they've beaten Ole Miss, they would have now beaten Bama. Their only loss would have been to Bama, so they would have revenged their only loss.
All right. Who's your pick?
Oh, sorry.
We're running out of time.
I've learned more recently to start picking against my heart because I always get let down. So I'm picking Ohio State. I think Ohio State wins this. I mean, I honestly do believe Indiana's the better team. But every time I try to go into these games, like trying to push my narrative of I think Indiana's better, I think this is this, I always lose. If I bet against Bama, if I bet against Georgia, if I bet against Ohio State, I always lose. I'm betting on the blue blood-ish, debatable. I got Ohio State. That's all we got for the show. If you made it this far, appreciate it. Good call to have the show at 11:30 instead of noon because we would have missed class.
Yep.
But for now, that's all we got for the show. That's all we got for this semester. Thank y'all for watching so much. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate it. But yeah, that's all for this semester for We Know Ball. We'll see y'all next time.